All right, this weekend we are celebrating the death and resurrection of Jesus. Actually, Friday we're going to remember his death with a communion service at 10 a.m. And then Sunday morning we're gathering at 9:30. It's going to be awesome. Sunday, Resurrection Sunday is my favorite Sunday of the year. And I think I will say my favorite day of the year when we celebrate the resurrection of Jesus Christ from the dead. And just thinking about that, I was reminded of that story from the Gospel of Matthew when the Sadducees come to Jesus. They were a Jewish religious sect. They didn't believe in the resurrection. Can you imagine that? Like, here we are, we're going to gather to celebrate the resurrection. But these men did not believe in the resurrection of the dead. And so they came to Jesus with a test to try and trip him up, a hypothetical question to see if they could, stop him in his tracks. And so they asked him this question about marriage and remarriage and marriage partners in heaven. And it was all, under the guise of a hypothetical question, but really they were trying to trip him up. And Jesus said, your problem when it comes to the resurrection of the dead, it's this: you don't know the scriptures and you don't know the power of God. And then Jesus talked about Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He said, God is the God not of the dead, he is the God of the living. And you learn in that passage that Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, they're not dead men. They have eternal life. They are with the Lord because God is the God of the living. And also, Jesus said the problem is you don't know the power of God. I mean, think about the power of God just for a moment. If we were to go back to Genesis chapter 1, the Lord actually took the dust of the earth, fashioned a man, and just with a breath, he breathed life into him. Adam became a living being. That is the power of God. See, death is no problem for God. A dead man in a grave, that's no problem for God, because God is powerful. And when you have an exalted view of God and you have an exalted view of his son Jesus Christ, I'll tell you what you won't have a problem with. You will not have a problem with the resurrection of the dead. God can raise his son Jesus Christ from the dead. And you know what's so amazing about that? Is he can raise you from the dead. And so often our struggles with these sorts of things is this: we start with men and we try to fashion God into the shape of a man. But the proper view of man is to first look to God. And our God is powerful. He's so powerful that he could take the dust of the earth, breathe life into it, and it would become a living man. Our God is so powerful that his son could lay dead in a tomb for 3 days, and he could raise him from the dead, the great sign that our God is the God who has victory over sin and death, and we can share in that. And so we're going to celebrate tomorrow, Resurrection Sunday. We'll see you at 9:30. God bless you.